Hey y'all, Andy here, and I had promised so many of you that I was going to be putting content on my new channel, my personal channel, if you will, for several weeks now, and over 1,000 of you have subscribed already, and thank you for that very, very much. And to be quite honest, I didn't know what to say or do on this channel yet. I'm so used to being a reactor. For those of you that are just seeing this video and don't know about my other channel, Master of Voice, I'm a vocal coach reactor here on YouTube for a little less than a year and a half now. We just celebrated our 250th reaction video on that other channel, so I have been busy doing that, and I sort of know the mechanics of how all that works and what I'm going to say and do and review those videos and see so many cool performers from all over the globe do their thing. But here on my own personal channel, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? I've asked some of you on my community page over on that channel, and several of you suggested a number of things. Just be myself. Talk about what I enjoy. Cook, eat, review different things. I mean, there's just so much to do. So I'm excited to just get the ball rolling here. Was actually contemplating doing a couple of reactions for that channel today, and I thought, no, it's overcast. I sometimes rely on the sunlight to help me with the lighting for videos, and I was like, just gonna sit down and talk. And this is probably going to be a rambling video. I'll try to edit out some of the rambling, if you will. But I just want to connect with you a little more here on my personal channel and get away from some of the reactions to music. I have enjoyed that channel so much. It's been so challenging and rewarding and frustrating, and I've explained that on a few of the vlogs I have on that channel. The copyright issues drive me nuts, and I'm going to have a video on that channel about it soon. I've been teasing that forever, but even more has developed in the recent weeks. I'm being threatened by a company in Korea to be sued over a video. It's just nonsense, you guys. But I'm still fighting over there. But that's one reason I started this different channel. I just want to get away from copyright issues per se, for music especially, even though I might be doing a few reactions to different things on this channel that don't involve music. So who knows? Who knows where we'll go with that? Just having some coffee here, some iced coffee here. I was going to sit down and do this video a few minutes earlier, but had an inspector show up. We had a new water heater installed New Year's Eve, I believe. I had been without hot water for a week between Christmas and New Year's. So that was crazy, but a typical way to end the year 2020. And you know, as I thought back on so many issues we had here at the house, our roof blew off because of poor installation technique, you know, during the hurricane, which was on my birthday. So many things. But then when I thought about it, I was like, the issues or obstacles or frustrations that I faced, me and my partner, and really my extended friends and family throughout 2020, just paled in comparison to what so many people were going through last year and continue to go through. And so, you know, I just have to go back to gratitude. Whenever I get frustrated, really, I just have to think, gratitude is going to get me through this. And so many of you on that channel are like, you're such a ball of positive energy. And I so try to be. I really want those videos to be positive. So many reactors can get a little critical, and I actually don't watch a lot of reactions. That's the weird part about me being a reactor on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of reaction channels, but there's so much negativity in certain types of videos, all those drama channels and all that. But I'm not always a positive person. You know, I get anxiety, frustrated, angry, you know, over things, and I just have to develop techniques that's going to get me through. I have to really rely on my support system. My partner is very important in getting me over some mental humps as I develop them throughout the day, a week, you know, whatever. And so I'm just like so many of you that, you know, we're complicated beings. And so that gratitude, when I was thinking about that water heater situation, you know, oh well, it's something that we got through and we lived through it, and it compared to so many other people, was just nothing. Trivial, if you will. Even though I was taking showers with water I had boiled on the stove in the plastic jug, you know, just weird. But it's just par for the course for what's been going on, you guys. So I hope you all had a good holiday season. And even if you were going through a lot, that you were able to find the positive, find the gratitude, finding something to know that there's love in the world and that you're part of that. And so I hope maybe this channel can be a little bit about that as well. Just some of the struggles I go through personally, and I know you all probably go through the same things. For me, gratitude is a big deal. I have to realize that I have so much to be thankful for. But it was a very low-key holiday season. You know, like so many of you, we've been at home a lot for the past, almost a year, you know. And for me, that was more of the same. I had kind of, in the months prior to that, been more of a homebody. And so it wasn't a big deal for me as much as it was for so many other people. But that can get a little lonely sometimes. You know, my partner works outside of the home. I work here, obviously. I'm a YouTuber, also a freelancer on the internet. And I'm going to talk a little more about how I earn money, you know, on this channel through the internet, being a freelancer with media skills, and talk to you all about that. But we had a good holiday, just very low key. You know, we ordered a spiral cut ham. I hadn't had one of those in forever. My mother kept talking about it to me on the phone. She's up in North Alabama, where I was born and raised, and I live down here on the Gulf Coast in Florida. So she kept talking about that spiral cut ham, and I just had to have one. So we spread that out over several days, of course, and then froze some and had some on New Year's Eve with our traditional black-eyed peas, and we had some ham and some greens and some cornbread. And, you know, just did that type of thing. Watched some movies and Netflix and all those New Year's Eve specials, and so that was cool. And very low-key. On Christmas Day, we opened a couple of small gifts. We had purchased iPhones earlier in the month, so there wasn't a big Christmas morning reveal for any of that. We had been enjoying our Christmas present for a couple weeks already. I did buy a new t-shirt for myself. Some of you know, if you've seen a couple of my Instagram photos, that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I love this shirt, and so I had to have it. My father took me to see the first Star Wars movie back in 1977 at the cinema, the theater. And it was such a great memory that I have of being with him as a very young kid. But being a Star Wars fan stuck with me. I have enjoyed everything they've done. I don't care. So many Star Wars fans get so uptight, so opinionated on the internet about what's going on. And I just watch them all. You know, sometimes I'm like, but it is what it is. Something's flying in the air. Oh, I may edit that out. I may not. I want this to just be a relaxed and low-key channel. I am sitting here at my desk where I do film all my reactions for the other channel. And so you all are used to seeing some of that. And if you're new on this channel, maybe check out that channel or vice versa. But I'm just wanting to sit here today and talk with you a little bit. We watched the game last night. I am an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. I grew up in Alabama, and so when you're in that state and born in that state, you sort of have to pick a team, Alabama or Auburn. Most of my family members were Alabama, including my father, my stepfather. Some of my uncles and cousins were Auburn fans, so holidays were always very interesting, especially around time of the Iron Bowl and all of that. So Alabama won another national championship last night. We stayed up a little late to see that game, and I was excited for the team. It's been such a crazy sports season. And, you know, there was a lot of debate over whether we should have sports in the fall and all that. And I'm not going to get into the sort of the political side of all that. But I personally, while I didn't want to go to any of those games, and I don't really like big crowds anyway, to be honest, I also enjoyed watching them. And so it was very different for the SEC this year. They played only conference games. No cupcakes. Well, can't really say that with a couple of the teams, but you know, sometimes SEC teams and bigger schools get get dinged for what others consider cupcakes on the schedule, easy schedules, if you will. But when you're playing 10 games, 10 conference games within the Southeastern Conference, that's pretty tough. And then Alabama went on to defeat Florida in the SEC championship game, which was a close game. Florida was good this year. Teams had so many issues, though, with COVID-related players missing. So that was different, and it was hard on those teams as well to just be down players in certain games. And so it made the season very unpredictable. So I was very excited, though, last night to see that game. Alabama did very well. And capped off such a good season. So many player awards for that team, but stellar players on that team. And then you have to realize that in that recruiting class, so many have moved on, to the NFL already. But the Heisman winner this year, Devontae Smith, a great quarterback, a great running back. And some of you aren't football fans and don't care a thing about that. But I am actually a big sports fan, and so that might surprise some of you that know me from the other channel. I do follow sports closely. I'm even excited this upcoming weekend about the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. And I have mentioned in a reaction to Dimash, who was actually at a performance that had figure skaters involved in Russia. I just love that, especially because that sport combines athletics and music. And so to me, it was a no-brainer to just love that, and so that's very cool. But I've been a football fan, which surprises a lot of people, since what I can remember back to is the 1985 season. That year, my hometown team, the University of North Alabama, where I actually graduated and went to school and graduated, you should say, and they went to the national championship game that year. Got beat handily. I actually became a New England Patriots fan that year as well. They had a Cinderella run through the playoffs, ended up in the Super Bowl, got demolished by the Bears. If you all may remember, if you're old enough, that was the Super Bowl shuffling Bears, if you will. They had a music video for that year. And then Alabama had a big game in the Iron Bowl that year against Auburn. And I'm actually wanting to replay the end of that game. Now, I haven't seen this in years, but this is known as The Kick by Van Tiffin, a kicker from Red Bay, Alabama, which is just down the road from where I attended high school in Franklin County, Alabama. I'm a graduate of Bell Green High School, proud to be a Bulldog. And this was the end of that game, and I remember this so well. I was probably 1985. I was 12. So this was a crazy ending of the game, and so let's play like the last minute of this game.
15 seconds to go. Again from the 46. Fell in motion. Shula keeping it back in for protection. Look.
Oh, Mike Shula's the quarterback.
Looking, dumping, open. Richardson, head to the boundary, Greg. Head to the boundary. Get out of bounds. He does. 35-yard line.
Oh,
6
my
seconds
gosh.
to go. Let's bring on the field goal unit.
Oh, my gosh.
There's only split time for one.
And so those of you that don't know, the Iron Bowl is what it's called. Alabama versus Auburn every year. A lot of times to end the season like around Thanksgiving. And it's just a big deal in the state, you guys. It's neighbor versus neighbor, friend versus friend, family versus family. And the two programs are great college football programs. And so it's usually a very competitive game. And I remember this. This is wild. But also I noticed Mike Shula was the quarterback there. And he went on to actually coach the Tide before Nick Saban. And his dad was big-time Miami Dolphins head coach.
One more play. The ball's at the Auburn 36. So it's going to be about a 52-yard attempt. The 52-yard attempt will be it for Van Tiffin. This would win the game. A 52-yard try. The clock will not start for the ball.
52 yards.
There is the snap. The kick. It is in the air. It has distance. It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good!
Oh my gosh!
Van Tiffin has won the ball game. Alabama has beaten Auburn.
Oh my God!
Has kicked a 52-yard field goal, and the state of Alabama is crimson.
Oh my gosh, you guys! The state of Alabama was crimson that year. It is this year. Another win in the Iron Bowl for the Tide this year, and of course, winning the national championship. It's fun to be a Tide fan. You know, it's not always a bed of roses. You know, all three of my teams have up and down years. So many people are like, oh, you're Alabama and the Patriots. Are you a bandwagon fan? No. I actually started being a fan of both of these programs when they were not winning titles of anything. But this was a fun year to get to know teams and just kind of latch my fandom onto certain teams, if you will. And I did also mention my alma mater. And here I am reacting already in a video. This is what I know, you guys. This is what I've been doing for about a year and a half. And so I don't want to just ramble. Maybe we'll do a few very different reactions on this. But I attended North Alabama through, they played in a lower division of college football. They still do, actually, but they are no longer in Division II. But back when I was in school, I played in the band there. I may pop up a photo of me in my band uniform here. I actually sang the national anthem at one of the games. But this is my second year in the band. And this was the first year of winning the national championship at this level of Division II. People hate it. The Division II fans hate the at this level stuff. We actually had NFL players from this team go on and do great things. And you know, this was the scene in my hometown. At the end of 1993, I'm in the band here.
Things changed around from quarter to quarter.
The end of this game, we have just scored. First of all, there was a lot of points in the last quarter of this game.
IUP once had a 10-point lead.
A lot of fans in my hometown stadium here. I'm in the band somewhere. The other team, such a grainy video, but I do appreciate it.
That's going to do it. Well recovered by North Alabama. And the Lions are the champions of Division II.
Oh, that was fun. Fun. See, so many people in the stands there in my hometown. Just a fun scene. Fans storming the field.
What a wild game.
You can hear the band in the background. I love the atmosphere of this. Just as much as I love watching the game.
For Rick Walker and Dan Jickets, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us. So long from Florence, Alabama.
I love hearing that. And I think that's what draws me into the sports as well. The nostalgia aspect of it, but also the music. Bands play such a huge role in the atmosphere of these games, these big games. And I just love being a part of the band. I played the trumpet. The team did so well my last 3 years there. And so I think that's also what sort of solidified me into being a huge sports fan in general, but especially for the teams that I follow. And so you all, especially if you know me from the other channel, may have your own sports allegiances. So share those with me down in the comments. I'd love to get to know your team. I know some of you, I have a lot of Spanish-speaking subscribers and fans, if you will. I'm still odd about calling people fans of me. You know, it's just still weird that I'm a YouTuber. But share your team allegiances down in the comments. I'd love to get to know, especially from Spanish-speaking countries. I know soccer. I'm sorry, football there, though. American soccer is what we call it. And so I don't know a lot about that sport. I've actually watched my North Alabama team has a great women's soccer team. And so I do follow them, but I'm still iffy on the rules of soccer and, you know, all of that. But I'm getting to know a little more about it and about the strategy and what's going on. You know, it just gives me out to watch them run around. I like a little more scoring than that sometimes. So that's cool and different. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit about me that you might not have thought, or you might be a little surprised about, that I am actually a big sports fan. And of course, we may talk figure skating after next weekend, a very different type of sport, but I don't discriminate. I love the Olympics coming up this summer. Of course, they had to postpone from Tokyo last year, and so I'm eager to see how that's going to work. It could still be very different. You know, we're still at the height of all this in so many countries that Not sure how that's going to all play out in Tokyo just yet. But there, I just wanted to share today a different side of me than what you may know from my other channel, and just share a little bit with you about what I've been doing over the holidays. And I want you all to share with me down below as well. And so I don't want to ramble on today. There's so much more to say in other videos, but I did want to sit down today and do a very first video on the channel with you, share something with you about me that you may not know, and I hope you all just have a great rest of your week. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.